Hello everyone. I wish we were together on our beautiful campus today. Connections is always one of my most favorite events because I just love meeting our new students and our families. But that will happen soon, very soon, and I can't wait to see you in person. In the meantime, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about Milligan and what makes this place so special. A charter was granted way back in 1866 to the organizers of what was then called the Buffalo Male and Female Institute for the purpose of providing Christian education to young people. Well, of course, times have changed since then, and so has the name of the school. By 1882, the name of the Buffalo Male and Female Institute had been changed to Milligan College by Josephus and Sarah LaRue Hopwood. And in fact, we just changed the name again to Milligan University. But all along, we have been a school that for over 150 years has stood firm in its mission and in its conviction to provide a Christian education. Well, these folks in this picture are the founders of Milligan, Josephus and Sarah LaRue Hopwood, and legend has it that upon arriving at the banks of the Buffalo Creek, that Sarah Hopwood climbed down off of her horse and she stuck her riding crop into the ground and she said, "This is the place, this is the ground upon which we will establish our Christian college." And according to legend, that riding crop took root to become what became the Hopwood tree, which stood on this campus until very recent years. Well, Josephus Hopwood, though, named the college after his favorite professor. This is him, Robert Milligan, and we're proud of the fact that Milligan University was named by its founder not after himself or after even a significant donor, but instead after the most significant and influential professor that he ever had. And that's become a hallmark of Milligan itself, a university where the professors and the students form bonds that last a lifetime. And I can assure you that that is the experience that you are going to have here. But it is safe to say that a lot of things other than the name have changed at Milligan University over the years. For example, when I came here almost 40 years ago in 1981, we were issued these little orange hats. We called them dinks, and woe it was to the freshmen who lost their dink and had to retrieve it in some embarrassing way. We had pretty strict curfews. We had to go to chapel not once a week, but actually twice a week. And when we were there, we had to sit in assigned seats. At the time, dancing was not allowed. But you know, in its earlier years, before the 1980s, things were even more strict. Let's take a look back to, say, the 1920s. You see, back in the 20s, the president's wife was also the dean of women. And she kept a detailed list of demerits in this little book. And we came across this book in the vault in the registrar's office back when we celebrated our sesquicentennial, our 150th anniversary just a few years ago. And here are some of the infractions and the demerits received. And I promise you that these are absolutely real. I'm just reading these to you. There was a young lady at the time named Rosalind. She received 5 demerits for making noise during the study hour. Study hour, very important. Anna, she received 2 demerits for missing chapel. Chapel's important. Lucille, she received 5 demerits for being out of her room. Norma received 5 demerits for talking out her window. evidently. You can look through a window, but you didn't talk through a window. Jesse received 2 demerits for missing breakfast. Most important meal of the day, as they tell us. Gladys received 5 demerits for returning back to campus late from vacation. She evidently was having a good time. Elizabeth, she received 5 demerits for playing tennis with boys out of season. Now, we're not sure what the problem was, if she was out of tennis season or out of boy season. But nonetheless, she got in trouble. Rosalind, Clara, and Pearl, a trio, they received 5 demerits for being in the classroom building before the bell rang, talking with boys. We don't have a bell anymore, but we do have boys. Margaret, she received 5 demerits for borrowing. You shouldn't borrow. And Rosalind, I think that's the 3rd time we've encountered Rosalind. Rosalind, she received 5 demerits for loaning, probably whatever was loaned to Margaret. Violet received 10 demerits for being in the drugstore with Earl. And Rosalind, one more time for Rosalind, she received 20 demerits. That's the most we have seen so far. 20 demerits for dancing. Oh, that was a no-no back in those days. But that Rosalind, what can we say? Rosalind, she must have been a popular young lady. Well, since those early days, Milligan has definitely grown. We have definitely changed, but our commitment to Christian education has never wavered. And at a time, I think, when too many people think that the purpose of an education is simply to prepare for a vocation or a job, we still believe that Josephus Hopwood had it right when he said that an education should provide one with a truer view of life and with a larger soul, with broader and more correct ideas of man, of nature, and of God. That's what Milligan University is still about. That's why every student who comes to Milligan is exposed deeply to history and philosophy, the arts, the natural sciences, and the Bible, because we still believe that the Bible is the foundation of everything true and good. But we also realize that in today's global economy, our students need to be well prepared, to be competent and good accountants, computer programmers, doctors, nurses, journalists, engineers, occupational therapists, teachers, preachers, missionaries, bankers, physician assistants, biologists, chemists, coaches, musicians, and the list could go on and on. We simply believe that if there were more well-educated, well-prepared Christian servant leaders, that this world would be a better place. And the world needs them now more than ever, for sure. That is the vision that drives our mission forward, to honor God by educating men and women to be servant leaders. And we accomplish this by emphasizing 3 things above all else: scholarship, community, and faith. Those 3 words are at the very core of what we are as a university. We're committed to excellence in scholarship. I hope that that's at least one of the reasons why you're coming to Milligan. We have an absolutely amazing faculty. They're committed to excellent teaching, to scholarly activity, and to being the kind of professors and mentors who will prepare you for whatever rewarding career it is you have chosen, that you are called to. But more importantly, they will shape you into the servant leaders that God would have you become. And while we are indeed committed to excellence in scholarship, we are more specifically a Christian liberal arts university. We're intentional about integrating our faith into everything that we do here, whether it's in the classroom, on the playing field, in the residence halls, in the cafeteria, in the chapel, or anywhere else. My prayer is that you are here to seek God's call for your life, to discern how you will use the talents and skills that God has given you, not only to earn a living, but to serve others, to be salt and light to a dark world, and to honor God in all that you do and all that you become. So Milligan University is a place that is deeply committed to scholarship and to living out our lives as people who have a deep and abiding faith in God. We are not perfect. We sometimes make mistakes as individuals and as a community, but we are a community that holds one another accountable, and we seek to live up to the high ideals of Christian scholarship. But also, since 1866, we have been building and nurturing the community that calls Milligan home. It is a community that not only exists within the confines of this campus, but it spans the globe wherever Milligan alumni have had an impact. And I can tell you that our alumni's impact has been far-reaching. But no matter how far the community of Milligan spreads, it revolves in many ways around this beautiful campus in East Tennessee. Even during our time during the pandemic, I know that the hearts and minds of our entire community were here on the grounds and in the halls of this beautiful place. But we stuck together through this tough time, and I can't wait for us to be back together again. And it is my great honor to welcome you to this place, a place that will become increasingly important to you, become increasingly special as your Milligan experience unfolds. So scholarship, community, and faith, those are the core values that I believe are central to Milligan University and the things that we work hard every day to protect and to nurture. So let me just leave you today by saying how happy I am that you are joining the Milligan family. We look forward to helping you get settled in this fall, and I wish you the very best for a wonderful first year at Milligan. We are anxious to see how each of you will grow mentally, physically, spiritually, and how you will go on to impact the world in ways that today we can't even imagine. Welcome to Milligan University.